You're there to show the examiner that you can drive safely. You've got the skill, you've got the experience, you've got the capability to do it. Know your maneuvers confidently. If you've got your test coming up, I'm sure you do. Another thing about this that helped me was to visualize yourself doing the maneuvers when you're not in the car. Doing your step-by-step routine and also visualizing the mistakes and then how to fix those mistakes. Make sure that you are paying attention to your speed, especially in areas where the view is restricted and narrow roads, if there's parked cars on the roads as well. It's also very important to know that you can travel up to that speed if it's safe to do so. So obviously in rainy conditions you don't want to be doing the full maximum speed because you need to maintain certain distance between the car in front of you. Going over the speed limit unfortunately is a fail, so you don't want to do that. Pay close attention to the instructions of the examiner, and if you do find that you weren't sure or you forget because you get distracted by something like on the road, it's okay to ask the examiner, could you repeat that? If you by any chance approach a stop sign, make sure you do stop the car completely. That's really important because it's an easy fail. When I did my mock test, I controlled the car with my clutch, obviously did the checks, and my instructor was saying,
well, that would have been a fail.
I said, what were you talking about?
Because you didn't stop the car fully.
So remember that. If you don't have a clear view of the road ahead, like a full 100% clear view, if in doubt, do not turn. That was my serious fault in my first test. Always peek forward until you can see the full road and then turn. Trust your gut. That's another really important thing. If you think something doesn't feel right, do not take any risks. You want to show the examiner that you can drive safely within the rules of the road, and that is the whole goal. Make sure you know your show me tell me questions, spend enough time revising them and learning the correct answers because those are easy points to get. You want to make sure that you're increasing your chances of passing overall, but also you're benefiting yourself long term because this is information that you're going to have to know anyway. How to maintain a car, all the little buttons and signs on the car, which can be overwhelming, but there's a few that you should know. I can put a link in the description for those of you that may have not came across, but you can find them online for free anyway. If you are following road signs, because there's a section of the test that's independent driving, it can be the sat nav or it can be following signs. If you have signs and you are not sure where to go, maybe the road sign is covered by a branch so you can't actually see what it says. Maybe the examiner said to you, follow the signs towards M8 or something. Say it's a roundabout. You don't see the sign fully, go straight. As long as you don't go onto the motorway during your test, then it's okay. If you're not sure, then just go straight. If it's safe to do so, obviously, and it's not on the motorway. Do not rely on the sat nav telling you the speed limit because the sat nav is not always correct with that. Sometimes there's temporary speed limits in the road that you are traveling. From experience, that is the case. That's something important that you should keep in mind. Also, don't be afraid to take the wrong direction. If you take the wrong turn, it's okay. As long as you're doing it safely within the rules of the roads, there's no harm in that. Know the different pedestrian crossings because they are slightly different and that can be used to your advantage because you'll be able to react to them well in advance. If you make a mistake, no matter what it is, don't assume you failed. Unless you do what I did, which is resulting in the examiner actually taking the wheel off you, okay, then you know you failed. But if you make like a slight mistake, try and stay in the present moment and focus on what's next. Try not to think backward because that can hinder you. Stay focused and attentive as you can, just like you were when you were sitting your hazard perception test, because this is the real life version of that. It's so important to make sure you do get enough rest the night before. Making sure you're well rested will help you control those nerves a lot better. Have faith and have trust in your own ability to pass because you can do it. You have the skills, you have the experience, you've got the capability to drive. Every obstacle you come across can be overcome. This is just another obstacle. So remind yourself, I've had this many lessons, I've done these maneuvers this many times, and you're going to show the examiner that you can drive safely and you can keep the car under control and react to any potential hazards in a safe way. I just want to say good luck, you've got this. I wish you the absolute best for your driving test.